All right, so can't emphasize this enough. Like we talked about yesterday, perfect practice is the only way to do this stuff to get the most out of it. So every time you run through something, if it does not sound good enough to be on your album, it is not good enough to increase the speed. If you notice that in the middle of something, so for this one right here, let's say you're going from the D string up to the B string, and you notice unwanted string noise coming out, do not continue on. You need to address that mistake right then and there. So if it's a 200 beats per minute that you get to, but you hear a bunch of string noise, it doesn't count. It never will. Has to be perfect. You don't forget the 240. Forget the 240. Get where you can, sounding good enough to be on your album, which I'd imagine you want to sound as best as possible. So it's got to be good enough for a recording before you move up in speed every single time. All right, 60 beats per minute. Check to make sure your pick is over the neck pickup before you start stuff, to make sure your right hand is far enough over to mute. And here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. See, that was not good enough to be on the album, so let's do that again. 1, 2, 3, 4. $120. 1, 2, 3, 4. 180. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Try 240. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Nope. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh my God. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. And the whole reason I've talked about 240 this whole time, if you remember, if you reach things at 240 prior to the new week, send a video showing me that, and then we can move on to something else. So that's what the whole 240 thing is, because that's like the graduation speed I have for eighth notes. But you do not need to make it to 240. We need to work on control and foundation and all that stuff. Alright, 60 beats per minute for number 2. Pick over the neck pickup. Here we go. Keep the fingers down as long as possible. 1, 2, 3, 4. So you will need to lay your picking hand across all the strings when you go from bar to bar, because you need to let go with the left hand, so your right hand has to cover all 6 strings when you transfer from one string to the next. 120. 1, 2, 3, 4. 180. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. 240. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Number 3. 60. 1, 2, 3, 4. 20. 1, 2, 3, 4. $180. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. $240. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Alright, there we go. So, if any questions come up, let me know. Let's focus on perfection, and I'll see you again next week.